Okay, well, we don't have a lot of people with us, but what I wanted to do with you guys tonight is, I know that the group project and the midterm case study, individual project, whatever you want to call it, seems to be a little bit confusing. So I'm going to give you first just some kind of general tips. And while we're doing that, I'm also going to then answer any questions you guys have. So bear with me here as I switch screens. I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. I didn't want to do what I wanted to do. Hang on. I'm on my laptop, so this is different than what I'm used to, being on my other laptop. Nope, don't want that. Okay, let me go ahead and open up. I was going to get to Moodle, so give me 1 second here. Moodle, there it is. And of course I have to log in. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to load, just in general, guys, sorry, it's been really slow loading today. Do not make this assignment, as far as the group project or the individual midterm, more complicated than it needs to be, okay? Data sets that you guys have been given are very generic. So you don't have the specific kind of data that maybe would come normally to a teacher that breaks down right responses versus wrong responses, or breaks the data down by objective or anything like that. What you have is much more generic. So what I'm asking you to really focus on and do is to look at the data, if you can, across time. So for example, how did the school do in 2016? How did it do in 2017? Was there growth? If you can't find that kind of data, that's fine. You can compare the schools to the state and to the district more than likely. So when you're doing the analysis pieces of the template, focus on that kind of stuff. Don't try to make it more difficult than it is. The example that I gave you from Clark County is very specific, but they had more data than you guys have available to you. I'm not expecting that level of specificity, but I wanted to give you a great exemplar so that someday when you are sitting in the role of the principal and you're actually got to do all of this for your school, you've got a really good model to follow if you want to use a process like this. In terms of what I'm expecting from you on the group project template, I want no more than 3 bullets per section. So if you're giving me more than that, you know, God bless you, but you don't have to. You're not, you know, it's not going to change the ability of you guys to get a good grade on it. I've already had a couple groups turn in their projects. They were excellent. But, you know, just kind of in summary, and, you know, I appreciate that you guys are so diligent and so very conscientious. But the whole goal of this project is just to get you into messing with data. That's really is the primary intent. I want you to get in there, see what it looks like, see different kinds of reports, because they vary from state to state. They're going to vary from district to district. They're going to vary from school to school. And to just get a sense of how data comes back to us. Because part of the role as either a principal or a teacher leader or a teacher in the classroom, you're going to have to make sense of data to your parents, to your community, and oftentimes to your students. So, like I said, I'm not expecting a Clark County level template. You don't have the data to do that. So if you send me one that looks like that, I'm going to be, probably you won't score as high as if you were just much more generic. Does that help make sense? And while you're doing that, I don't know why I can't get on Moodle today. Oh my gosh, this is just not my day.
So on the Clark County template that on the directions, it says to use the let me hold it up because I don't even know what it's called. This.
Yeah.
Right? So use this to help with the templates, right?
Yeah, it's just, again, a sample, but you should have a blank template in the resources. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
embedded.
But I mean, like, okay, so it's in the article, but we're also supposed to use, so is it just this, or we're supposed to use the data from all the other, like the school stuff?
Okay, you're gonna turn in 3 separate things.
Right.
Okay. You're gonna turn in the tools. You know, those are from the Dallas ISD website, starting with tool 1A through 7B, I think.
Yeah.
Then you're going to turn in just the template, Okay, so you're going to extract that out, or I can just pull those pages out and resend them to you guys if you want.
But I mean, like the template, is the data that's going to go in this template going to be straight from this article or from the report cards also?
It's from the data that I sent you. Remember, you could choose one of two sets of data to work with.
Okay.
Louisiana, whichever one you use, that's the data you're going to use to fill out the template.
I was trying to pull all the data from this, and I was like, I can't do it. I just give up.
Okay, Heather, that would be pretty dang hard.
I know.
Frustrated.
Like, oh my gosh.
Well, good. I'm glad that we got that cleared up.
It's probably just me. It's been a long couple of weeks, so just
I understand. Between K-CREP and that accreditation visit, it literally about killed me. And then I just found out I've been assigned to do the business accreditation, which they're coming in on March the 3rd. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't even work with the business department. So I feel your pain. Okay, other questions, guys? Because I still can't get on Moodle today. So you may have to do like Heather did and hold it up or share the screen or something.
it's like my Bible.
You're going to talk. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You're going to talk about the other assignment, though?
If I can get to Moodle and even remember what it is, quite frankly, I just drove from Louisiana to Dallas. So I'm a little
self-evaluation forms.
Okay, yeah, here we go. I got it. It's coming up now. Thank you for the reminder. You must think, oh my God, what kind of a teacher is this?
No.
Okay, so hopefully I'm okay, I'm finally in. Hallelujah. Let me get to the right page. I don't want to go to Kaltura. Don't do that. I want to go to home, to my courses. Okay, EDL 707. I'm just going to pull this up real quick so I can share the screen with you guys. Hang on. Okay, scrolling. I should have brought my mouse. That would have made this so much easier. Okay, so let's see here. We are talking about the midterm case study assignment. Here we go. Okay. All right, so let me pull up the template. Okay. And where did it go? Hang on, guys. I'm just pulling this down here. Okay, let me respond to Camille real quick here. Her question is, when filling out the charts and completing trend analysis and prioritizing concern, who is the grade level of concern, the years when it took place, etc. Okay. All right, Camille, so make this much simpler than you're probably thinking, okay? So what you're going to do is you might want to pick, you can literally just say that the school is performing above or below the district, above or below the state, and tell me by how much. Are you doing, I'm pretty good at reading lips. Are you doing Texas or Louisiana? Louisiana, okay. There's not a lot of specific data that I could give to you guys for Louisiana because that is something that, I just couldn't access, quite frankly. So be very generic, and like I said, compare the school to the state, compare the school to the district sample, and notice if you see trends. And the trends I'm talking about is, I think when we went through it last week or the week before last in our Zoom meeting, we talked about the fact that pretty much across the board, there was a couple areas, but across the board, that school was below the district and state averages or the parish and state averages. So just talk about that and give me specifics. So the state scored at, I'm making up numbers now, 70%, and the school scored at 50%, so they were 20 percentage points below the state. Or if you know what the expected standard is, let's say, I know in Texas, everybody's always pushing to get to 90% passage or better. That's how you get the A on the report card. So if you know the standard is 90%, the school was scored at 70%, they're 20 points below the expected standard. So like I said, don't make it complicated. It doesn't have to be. Okay, and then Martha, complete the performance focus chart. All that is when you look at the data, again, make it simple. So if you're using Louisiana data, I'm talking about specifically let's see, what am I trying to say? Let me start that sentence over. So on the performance focus chart, all you're doing is telling me the school, let's say Louisiana data. Their mastery rate is significantly below the district and the state by X amount, and therefore that needs to become a performance focus area. So the goal would be that we need to move our scores to be at least at the district average within 2 years, and in 5 years we should be at or above the state average. Okay, so it's really just looking at the data and thinking about how does it's comparing. We're doing a lot of comparing to other metrics. Does that help? Make sense?
It helps, but I still don't know what to put in the boxes. What do you expect?
Okay, let me see if I can pull it up. Hang on one second, okay?
Sure.
Let me go back. Hang on. Sorry. My computer sometimes loves me and sometimes it hates me. And today it hates me. Okay, so we've got the group assignment. Here we go. Okay. Let me make sure I'm opening the right thing. So is this one, Martha, tell me, is this one of the templates you're talking about, or is it the performance focus chart? Is that within the templates? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. It's the one, hold on a second.
Okay. I didn't know if it was one of the, it's not, I don't think it's one of the tools, right?
No, it's not one of the tools.
Okay. All right. So I'm in the wrong place then. That's my fault.
It is the templates.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like page 7.
Yeah.
It's one of the charts.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Here's the tools.
And it says gathering and organizing data.
Okay. Hang on one second. Sorry, it's just being slow. Here it goes. Okay, so here we go. Let me see if I can actually open for me. Okay. Here we go. Oh. So you're talking the group assignment template, which I can't get to open. I got the wrong tool. Stop that. Okay. Open thing. Sorry. Usually I'm better at the computer than this, but today I'm on my Mac and it is not acting right. Here it goes. Okay, so you're talking about, hang on. It is being just crazy. Stop. Okay, so, sorry, it's just taking a minute. I think it's the hotel's internet. It doesn't like me. Keep logging me off. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get it to pull up. Open. Recent. Open on my Mac. Come on. Okay, maybe. Sorry, guys. I do apologize. And, of course, it's not going to be there. Y'all can see my taxes. They're on there. That's dang it. Hang on. Sorry. I don't know why it's not opening. Okay, I can see the, so are you talking about the progress monitoring piece or on before that? That's after that, correct?
It says.
Yeah, I'm looking at the first, pulling up the first page.
It's under the planning for data analysis. It's okay. That chart, gathering and organizing data.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see if it'll open again. It is just literally not letting me do this. It's not liking me at all today.
And Martha, you may be able to share your screen as well.
I was going to say, if you can pull it up, one of you guys can, if one of y'all can pull it up and share your screen, because I'm just not able to get anything to open. I don't know if it's a Moodle problem or if it's a me problem. It's probably me.
I don't even know how to do that.
If you hover your cursor toward the bottom of the Zoom screen, you'll see a green folder that says share screen.
Okay.
Do you see that in the center?
Mm-hmm.
Just click there and it should prompt you from that point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you see it?
It says you've started screen sharing, so hopefully it'll pop up here in a second. Can anybody else see it? Because it could very well be just my connections today.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. Yeah.
It could be as the host. Maybe you have to approve or something.
I don't know. I just clicked on her thing, and it says you're viewing it. View options. Let me see. Request remote control. I'll do that. See if that works. Did you get a message from me, Martha, that says to do something, to accept or whatever? Yeah, it just says I'm viewing her screen, but it's black. Oh. Yeah, let me see here. No. No. Heather, I see that it looks like you printed something. Can you hold it up? We'll go old school.
I was reprinting. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Okay, finally popped up. Okay. So let's see here. Is this the right part, Martha, that we're looking at? Okay. On this, I don't know if this is the right report or not, but we're going to try. On this particular report, quite honestly, there's not much you can do with it. You can tell me if there was, and you don't have to do it by content because your data for Louisiana is not broken down by content. If you're doing Texas data, this is a very easy chart. For Louisiana data, was there academic growth? If there wasn't growth from 2016 to 2017, you would just write no in the math column, no in the reading column, no in the other content, etc. Academic achievement, most of this, you're just going to put no's in there and then leave it alone if you're doing Louisiana data. Now, in some cases, they did actually have a teeny bit of growth, I believe in their basic skills for their special needs kids. So you can just designate that down at the bottom where it says other performance results, just write a statement to that effect. But otherwise, you really can't do this because for the Louisiana data, you don't have what you need. Now, on the completing trend analysis, where it says math, who, when, materials, and tools, you're going to look at this because we know the school is below mastery. So you're pretty safe in assuming, now we're having to extrapolate some data, but you're pretty safe in assuming for the math, reading, writing, and science that they're below standard across the board because they have such a low percentage of kids meeting mastery. So I would put on here math, who, well, that's going to be your students, and this is where you can, do whatever you want. You can put fifth graders, you can put third graders, you can put all students K-5 or all students grade 6-8. It's a middle school for Louisiana, so all students grade 6-8. If you're doing the Texas data, it's a K-5 school. Who, well, it's going to be your students. When, so when are you going to address this? So for example, is your trend in math, reading, writing, science, etc., when are you going to do this? Well, we're going to target math during our math classes and then after school in math tutoring. What materials will you use? Okay, we're going to use, I don't know, Kaplan's blah, blah, blah. Kaplan's study guide for math or something. Same thing's going to be true for reading and writing. In fact, so just like I said, you get to be creative. There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer here because you don't know enough about a particular school, the data that I've given you, to get very specific here. Okay? Then prioritizing your concerns. Well, for me, one of the main concerns was the fact that they're not even, their mastery percentage is so low. Mm-hmm. So again, who am I going to prioritize? Well, like for example, in Texas, they only test third, fourth, and fifth graders. Okay, and then in middle school, 6, 7, 8, They only test 7th graders in writing. So what I might want to do is, based on what you know about those assessments, and if you don't know anything, that's okay too. But again, it's very similar to what you did in the previous chart. So when we're looking at prioritizing performance and concerns, hey, you decide, where are you going to get the biggest bang for your buck? Is it going to be with your lower grade students, maybe your 6th graders in that middle school, or is it going to be your 8th graders, or do you feel like you need to target everybody? So what are the concerns? Well, the majority of our students are below mastery. Only, I'm making up numbers again, 8% are reaching mastery. When are we going to address this? Well, are you going to do maybe an intervention period? Or are you going to do something during an advisory period? I don't know. Y'all tell me. And then what are we going to use again? Priority concerns into the SIP. Again, it's pretty repetitive. That's really asking you the same thing. Entering key strengths. Well, there was a glimmer of hope with that Louisiana school where they did actually exceed the district and the state on some basic percentage passage. So that's where I would put my strengths. That, I don't know, again, 12%, we were 12% above the state average on the percentage of students with disabilities passing at the basic level. Okay? Applying the SIP quality criteria. Again, on that one, to the school's trends. So basically, you're repeating what you're doing in the box above it. Okay?
Okay.
Quality criteria is it really a good strategy? Okay, and so what you may want to say is, if one of your strategies, for example, is that you're going to use, I don't know, Saxon Math. Okay, well, we know Saxon Math is a really strong program that is research-based, so you might want to include that. Or you may want to go and use, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank, the SQ3R reading method. And, you know, that's a research practice from Pinnell and Fontes, whatever. Pinnell is the main one. So just give me some idea of why you chose. Generally, it's going to be a research-based best practice from Marzano, from some guru out there. Okay? Then on the bottom part, the notes. In which performance indicators did the school not meet standards? That's where you tell me we were below the state, we were below the district, blah, blah, blah. Who was involved? Who would you involve in helping you to do this? Okay, as a principal, I wouldn't suggest doing this by yourself. That's why I gave it to you as a group project. So you might use your department chairs, or your grade level chairs, or your administrative leadership team, you know, whoever. What data would you review? So this is where you tell me not only what you looked at and reviewed, but what else would you need to do this? What's the process that the team was engaged in? It's going to include things like, you know, maybe you did it through the professional learning community, or each one of you took a piece of data and analyzed it independently and then brought the results to the group. There's a million different ways to do that. Okay? Clear as mud?
Yes.
I said, guys, do not stress about this. You know, it's not like there's only one right answer. There are 5,000 right answers to how you do this. Because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is just a way to think about and look at data. It's what you do with the data and the results that you get from it that really, really matters. So like I said, there's not a right or wrong answer. There really isn't. If you do something completely way off, and it's not going to be like, oh, you get a great big F. What I'm going to do is send it back to you with some feedback and say, hey, this is kind of the direction you needed. You know, you should think about this or whatever. And, you know, you can redo this 10 times. But trust me, you're not going to need to. Okay? This is really just to prompt thinking. Okay? I'm not looking for the right answer. It's our biggest problem in education. We always look for the right answer when there's really multiple answers to just about everything. Okay? Other questions? Camille, anything else you want me to look at since you've got the screen right now? Says I'm controlling it. Apparently I'm not, though, because I cannot move the cursor. Okay, I think I just undid her. Okay. Anybody else? I think I've said it before, and I know I put it today in the instructor virtual office. If you guys are really unsure about this, we can do a couple things. Number one, I can do a Zoom meeting with you and your group and walk you through it. The other option is if you want to go ahead and do a draft and send it to me, I am more than happy to give you feedback on it. And, you know, I'm not going to grade it or whatever. And then, you know, once I give you the feedback, you can go ahead and finish it up and then submit. Because, you know, this is graduate school. It's really about your learning. So, you know, I'm not looking to fail anybody. My goal is for everybody to get an A in the class. Really walk away and understand not only data and how to use it, but to also have some good tools that are going to be helpful to you. Okay? Okay, I was looking to see any other chat stuff out there. There was also some questions. Just so you guys know what's coming up. This week, you only have a reflection question and a discussion forum because I wanted to give you time to finish up your group assignments. I'm going to push off your individual assignment and not make that due. I'll push it all the way to March 3rd. But that's the last day of the class. You can't go beyond that. So I will, I'll make that change in Moodle here as soon as I'm finished with you guys. You know,
so we're not the case study thing. Is that what you're pushing off?
Yes, it's not due till March 3rd. I'm just going to make everything else has to be done and completed by March 3rd. For your final exam, I'll tell you now, it's a 10-point 10-slide PowerPoint. And it's really hard questions like what I learned from this course, what I wish I'd learned, how I might use this in the future. So you do not need to stress about the final.
Well, I'm off this week, and I wanted to work on the midterm, the case study thing. Is it just following what that example is?
Yeah, all the case study is a personal data analysis sort of thing. So look at, if you have access to data from your school or your class or whatever, answer the questions based on that data.
So like if I have our ACT profile report for our school.
Perfect.
Use that and then go through and basically just answer those questions.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
If you don't have any data, I've heard from a couple people, let me know and I'll send you some.
Okay. So I'm kind of overthinking that too if I'm getting stressed about it because I'm just basically filling in like they did on theirs.
Exactly. And yes, you probably are overthinking it.
That's my life, so.
Okay, that's all right. We have another student that I've had a couple of times and she emailed me and she said, I know what you're going to say, but she said, you're going to tell me I'm overthinking this. And I was like, yes, you are. You're overthinking it.
Well, I had in our group project, Anne-Marie, and she's had you before. So she's like, she's going to tell you that you're overthinking this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not teaching research methods for a reason. I'm not teaching statistics for a reason. No, like, you know, guys, in education, you know, that's what we do. You know, when you're that principal or an assistant superintendent or a superintendent or whatever, you're always looking for ways to make sense and communicate, whether it's data, information, curriculum, bond issues, whatever. So, you know, my goal in the classes I teach is always basically threefold. Number one, I want to expose you so you know exactly when somebody says, hey, blah, 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 you're like, oh, okay, I remember that from. The second thing is to give you some real tools that you can walk away and use, hopefully now, but if not, archive them or, you know, create that binder or folder or whatever, your file, you know, on your zip drive or whatever, so that when you're faced with the first time that you have to lead a data discussion or a data meeting, you can go to some tools and use those to make sense of it. And the third thing is I want you guys to learn to trust your instincts a little bit more because, you know, it's like Dr. Perry and I talk about all the time, particularly in the EDL program. Guys, we can't teach you everything you need to know to be a successful school leader. I mean, there's not enough hours in the day to do that. What we hope instead is to teach you to think critically, to be able to justify your responses and to trust your instincts. I've had so many situations occur when I was a principal where I had to make split-second decisions. And, I had a great education. I had a lot of great mentors, but there was absolutely no textbook or class that I could go back to and say, says to do this. Like I said, I'm going to challenge. Yeah, it's challenging. Sometimes it's not going to make sense, but part of what I want you to do is figure it out, problem solve it, ask questions, use resources. All of that really, really matters when it's all said and done. I appreciate the fact that y'all are frustrated and confused, but some of that is by design, because that's how you're going to feel all the time when you reach that assistant principal or principal's position. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys?
I'm going to echo the one that's over here. So we have a discussion, a forum question, and a reflective question
for this week.
Okay.
And next week you will not have a discussion forum or a reflection question.
It'll just be finishing up the
all this up, and I'll go ahead and open up the final exam for you.
Okay.
And that kind of stuff. We will do probably next week through our Zoom meeting. We're going to do some real data analysis, but I'll walk you through it so you can see exactly what it looks like. Because, and then from there we'll talk about how do you plan effective instruction based on the data. That is it's great to look at data and to break it apart and analyze it. I have a really good friend who does data statistics and analysis for Southwestern Medical School. And he can print the most incredible charts and pivot charts and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but then what do you do? And he's like, I hand it to the doctors to figure out what to do with it. It's kind of the same thing. We get to play both roles. We get to analyze the data, pick it apart, and then we have to figure out what to do with it too. So I want you to be able to see that connection. Okay, Heather, you said the reflective question. It's posted this week, and
are you talking about the one? There was one that I looked at, and I took a screenshot of it, but it said that there wasn't going to be something because of the.
Yeah, for the last week's, there was no reflection question or discussion forum. So for the module 4, week 5 that I just opened up.
Okay.
Reflection, that's your last reflection question and your last discussion forum.
So you're talking about the one this week, not the one that, okay.
There was the one last week.
Weeks, just.
That's all right. We've only got this week and 2 more, not even 2 full weeks, and we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
And I just looked really quickly at my email to get on this Zoom meeting. Did you say we weren't having a Zoom meeting?
No, not on Thursday night. I'm actually going to be in Key West, Florida, so y'all feel sorry for me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my kids live there, so it's my granddaughter's birthday. So I'm actually going to go see her. And they don't have very good internet down there since the hurricane. So.
Oh, right. Okay, good. Okay, fun. Have fun.
Yeah. But we will pick back up like normal with Zoom meetings the following week. Okay, but in terms of assignments, group project, the individual midterm, and then the final exam, reflection question this week, and a discussion forum this week, and that's it. So you have 5 assignments. Now, granted, 2 of them are huge, but 5 and you're done. Okay? All right, guys, thank you for your patience with me and everything. And I'm sorry, like I said, my technology skills tonight were not very good. So, but hopefully I relieved some of your angst.
Yes, thank you very much.
So email me stuff. I'll be glad to look at it. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, y'all have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.